Hi. Welcome back to Tune In 10. I know we've taken a week off, so I haven't seen you all. Well, I never get to see you all because it's a LinkedIn Live and you can only see me, but I hope that you're attending and I haven't seen you. You haven't seen me in a week or two now. So here we are. We're back with Tune In 10, which is a weekly LinkedIn Live show that's really focused on taking approximately 10 minutes to reset your energy, so that you can have a better day, year, month, life, anything. And I share tools and tips and techniques and methods for you to be able to do exactly that, reset your energy. And today we're going to chat a tiny bit about what meditation is. And then I'm going to show you one of my very favorite breathing techniques, bee breath or Bhramari Pranayama. And I've shared this with so many people now, and every time the response is just amazing. People love it. They really get something out of it. So I hope that the same happens for you. Why are we talking about meditation? Everyone thinks meditation is, everyone, maybe you don't. Maybe you have a new version of this in your mind, but people tend to think meditation is sitting with your legs crossed on the ground in complete silence with your eyes closed, breathing slowly and gently in and out, and trying to completely wipe your mind of any thoughts that are racing. And while that is true, it's not the only way we can meditate. There are so many ways we can actually create space for presence and mindfulness that don't require us to simply just sit still and try to get these thoughts out of our heads, which for some people can be very, very difficult. Some of the ways I like to meditate are through dancing, through Kundalini yoga, which is movement, through chanting, which really uses my voice, through breath work, gardening, knitting. There are so many different ways that you can create a meditative state for yourself where you're not just kind of sitting still and going inward, okay? So today we're going to show you one of these ways with bee breath. And the reason why it's called bee breath is because we're actually going to do humming on our exhale. So we're all going to sound like a bunch of bees zipping around. And what this humming does is actually pretty interesting. Humming actually helps us create more nitric oxide in our breath, which has a bunch of healing properties for us. More nitric oxide in our breath actually helps to kill off viruses and bacteria, which is great for this time of year and what we're all experiencing. This type of breath and humming also stimulates our vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is probably the most important and critical, prominent, biggest nerve that extends from the brainstem down through the center midline of your body and reaches out into all of your organs. And the vagus nerve actually is responsible for a ton of stuff like digestion and heart rate variability and just innumerable things in your body, your fight or flight response, all of this stuff. It's an important nerve. And if we know how to stimulate it, tune it up, and resource it, it can help us regulate our nervous systems overall, which is really important if we're experiencing fear or anxiety or stress, if we want to improve our health, if we just want to create more calmness in our life. And in fact, what I find is doing this bee breath is a great precursor if you do want to engage in the sit silently meditation. So I'll invite you after we do our round of bee breath for you to actually sit silently if you like. And I'll end the show, but you can continue sitting there if you like in this little bubble that you've created for yourself. Now, before we just get into the humming breath, I want to give you 3 options for what to do with your hands during this process. The first option is you can put them on your heart, because as we hum and we stimulate the vagus nerve, I can actually feel it right now as I'm talking. I can feel the vibration as I'm speaking right now to you in my chest. So what's happening there is our vocal cords, we're stimulating the vagus nerve, we're actually rattling it a little bit. And if you want to focus in on the heart center, and this feels really good to you, put your hands here. The next option is actually called the Shanmukhi mudra. Now, a mudra is a hand gesture, and it's meant to kind of emphasize something and open up a different kind of portal or experience for you. I'm actually going to take my glasses off for this part so I can show you the Shanmukhi mudra. What you're going to do is you're going to use your thumb and each of your fingers and put it in a certain position on your face. Your thumbs are actually going to go and push on this cartilage part of your ear just to block the ear, not in the ear, just to kind of push in the ear so that you create a little bit of a bubble for yourself. So right now I'm in my echo chamber of my head with my thumbs pressing in. When you hum, it will create this echo chamber too. And then what happens with the rest of your fingers is pointer fingers go above your eyebrow. This represents shutting down sound. This represents kind of the shutting down of, I'm backwards here, shutting down of thought. The middle fingers rest on top of the eyelids, shutting down the perception of sight, just very gently here. The ring finger will go to touch the sides of the nose, again, not pinching or closing the nose, just resting. This represents shutting down our perception of smell. And then the pinkies are just going to rest on top of the lip here, which represents the shutting down of the perception of taste. And so what we're doing here is we're actually closing down all of our gates of perception so that we can go and create this little bubble. So that's one option for you. Here, ears, eyebrow, eyelids, nose, lips, and you would hold that with your ears closed as you do the breath. If that feels too claustrophobic for you, the third option is this. Thumbs still come in and plug the ears, but each of your fingers is actually going to rest on the crown of your head. This is a helmet mudra, okay? And so here we're actually going to still close down that thought perception gate and really focus your attention and your energy here up to the crown of your head, which is actually the seat of your consciousness and our connection to everything greater to ourselves, the collective universe. So pick one of those three options, heart, Shanmukhi mudra here, or helmet mudra. Okay, now what we're going to do together is we're going to take a moment here, get comfortable, get your feet flat on the floor, find your seat. And I want you to just take a few slow breaths. Start to slow your breath down. And we're going to do a practice round without any of the mudras. And then we're going to do at least 6, you can do up to 10 if you like to, rounds of bee breath. And I'll apologize in advance for how out of tune my humming is going to be. So sorry for that. But that's it. If you like to do a lower hum, that's great for like really getting into the lower chakras in your body. If you'd like to do a higher pitch hum, which is probably what I'm going to go for, it's going to really tap into these higher centers in your body, the throat, the third eye, and the crown center. So that would pair really well with the mudras that are focused on the head. Maybe if you're doing the heart center hold, you would like to do a lower sounding hum. That might be a good combination. So let's do our practice. We're going to do a very deep inhale through the nose, and with our exhale, we keep our mouth closed and simply hum. The goal here is not to do it for as long as you can, to just do it for the natural exhale of the breath. Don't try to force it. And whenever you're done, you're going to go at your own pace and you're going to inhale again, keeping the mouth closed, and exhale with the hum. And like I said, you can do the higher pitch, or you can do the lower pitch, and really start to get into the lower body, okay? So here we are, edging in on 10 minutes. We're going to get together. I'm going to do this crazy Shanmukhi mudra, get my fingers all set up. And I'm going to start here, and you're going to have a fun time watching me, but I hope that you actually join me instead.
Now I've just done 6 rounds there, I think. I'm going to keep my eyes closed. Let my hands rest down on my lap. Palms can face up or down to receive or to ground. And I'm just going to sit here for a few seconds and feel the energy I have just created in my body. I can feel energy pulsing up and down my arms through my fingertips, having done that Shanmukhi mudra. And I also feel still the pressure on each of those points on my face and on my ears. And it feels like I created my own little world there for a moment. And when you're ready, go ahead and start to twitch your little fingers a little bit here. Maybe make some micro movements with your shoulders. Open your eyes and return back to the room. Get my glasses back on here. As I said, this is a great time if you like to actually continue on and do a very still meditation. You've created this energy bubble for yourself. Even just the way that I'm talking now compared to the way that I was excited and talking before this shows how calming even just taking 6 breaths in this way can be, let alone all the health benefits. My nervous system just feels totally relaxed. This breath is really great anytime you need to actually do that. Calm agitation or tension or stress, stave off any angry feelings, boost your immunity, calm down that nervous system, which can help you regulate your heart rate, reduce your blood pressure, and reduce inflammation in your body. We actually get rid of that dis-ease in our body itself. It's also fantastic to help you fall asleep. So you can do a couple rounds of this breathing right before you fall asleep as you're laying down. Now, I would recommend not to do any of the mudras on your head, not to block your ears when you're lying down, but to just simply do the humming breath and then drift off to sleep. The other fun thing about this breath is because it does make some noise and it's got some funny hand gestures, it's really fun to do with kids or to teach to other people. It feels silly, but it's also fun. And it's really fun to do it in a group together. If you can do it in person with someone else, you kind of create a resonance between all of the humming, and it just brings more and more energy into the space. So this was Be Breath, or Bhramari, there it is, Bhramari Pranayama. If you'd like to use a Sanskrit word. And I hope that you enjoyed it and feel much calmer going into the rest of your day. Thank you so much
for joining me again for another Tune In 10 on LinkedIn Live. And I hope that I will see you next week.